Hi friends, this is a guide on how to emulate Switch games on your computer. First thing is to go to the website in the description. It has everything you're going to need to emulate Switch games. Okay, so the first thing you're going to need is the latest Microsoft Visual version for this to work. If you already have this, great, then you can skip this step. So now we are going to download our firmware and keys. We are going to need these if we want to use the emulator. Follow the steps on screen and get these both downloaded. You are also going to need 7-zip for the files we are downloading to be able to extract them. I have an amazing website for you to download all of your Switch ROMs in one place. For this example, I'm going to use Minecraft, but you can choose any game of your choice. Finally, we are going to download our Switch emulator, Sudachi. You don't have to do this, but I'm moving everything out of my Downloads folder into my main C drive and making a new folder for everything called Switch Emulation. I recommend this a ton because it makes all the files easy to find and organized. Inside of this folder, I'm making 3 separate folders for DLC, Update, and Game ROMs. Now I'm moving everything into my new folders and making 2 new folders called Keys and Firmware. Finally, I'm extracting all the files that need to be extracted with 7-zip. Don't worry about all these files. We have one more thing before we launch Sudachi. I would make a shortcut so it makes it easier to launch later on so you don't have to dig for the exe file. Then after we make the shortcut, we can finally launch Sudachi. Now that we are in Sudachi, we need to add our encryption keys by going to the folder we put them in. Next, we need to install firmware, so go to Tools. Install firmware and select the folder with all the firmware files. Now, double-click the big folder in front of you and choose your Switch ROMs folder. Unfortunately, the Minecraft ROM I got did not work, so I had to go get a different ROM file that I had. If you have this problem, I would choose either the mirror link or a different version, preferably a newer version. Now go to the Configure tab. Most of this stuff is great at default, but if you want to change it, go ahead. I did not change anything besides my resolution because my computer could support it. But other than that, I stuck to all the normal settings because I was fine with all the settings that had been pre-applied. One thing though is if you have an older GPU, I would use OpenGL as it's more stable for older GPUs, but if you have a new GPU, stick to Vulkan. Next, you need to set up a controller. Dual Joy-Cons or a Pro controller is best. But if you have an Xbox controller or a DualShock, I'm pretty sure those work as well. Some games are going to have updates or DLC. To install those, you would go to Files, Install to NAND and choose the folder they are in. Since I don't have an update or DLC, I wasn't able to show this in my recording. Finally, double-click your game and it will launch. For the first, second, and sometimes third time, the game will be pretty laggy, but as you play more and more, it will smooth out and you won't have that problem. Also, if you want a full screen, it is F11. That's all for this bare bones guide. Sorry if this didn't help you, but if it did, please consider subbing. It means a lot and helps my very, very new channel grow. Bye, guys.